Greetings, fellow explorers. Hi, this is Tony with Fount Systems Network, and we are in pursuit of low-carbon innovations for seawater desalination. This March 20 broadcast is on the theme of global water stress, and I'll call this Background 1, Global Water Stress Today and in the Future. I'm going to post a link to a work plan so you can see where we are in the process. This presentation is going to include a variety of academic and other professional resources. I'm going to post the bibliographic links and or web links in the course description below. So water stress. Water stress, if you're not familiar with the term, it's when people use more water from their freshwater resources than the natural systems can replenish. All of the water that we use substantially comes from surface water or groundwater, and all of those lakes and rivers and wells and aquifers are recharged over time by rain and snow. Now, we are constantly pumping and using these freshwater resources on a continuous basis, but they get replenished or recharged intermittently and slowly over time. So you can see where the problem comes in. Water stress is when we use these water source resources faster than the natural systems can replenish them. So I want to start with an image that describes our freshwater resources. This is from the United States Geographic Survey, might be Geologic Survey, I should learn that. Where is Earth's water? So on this first bar chart, we have total global water, and we can see the vast majority of that is in our oceans. So 2.5, 3% of all of the water on planet Earth is fresh water. Now, let's look at this bar chart that shows fresh water. About 2/3 of all that fresh water is locked up as ice in glaciers in mountain ranges around the world and in ice caps on Greenland and Antarctica. The remaining 31% of the fresh water is groundwater and surface water. So look at that. This fresh water, this surface water, that's Lake Baikal, that's the Nile River, that's the Great Lakes, that's the Colorado River. All of that constitutes just a thin slice of all the water on planet Earth. This groundwater resource is about 30% substantially get used for agricultural purposes, and humans use most water for agricultural purposes. So what I want to look at from there is this concept of water stress. I've got a pretty good research article on this, and I'll let you look at the bibliography at the top. Global depletion of groundwater resources, and if we dial into the summary here, regions experiencing recurrent water stress are the Sahel, that's sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa, Central United States, Australia, India, Pakistan, and Northeast China. It's estimated that 2 billion people around the world suffer from severe water stress right now. There's an interesting image here where we can see where all of that lays out on maps geographically here. Central United States, this is likely for agricultural purposes, pumping from the Oglala Aquifer. Here we have little red dots. That looks like San Diego and Los Angeles to me, having severe water stress. Southern Spain, I think this is Bulgaria right here. Much of China, and then over here in the Punjab in northern India and Pakistan. So these are the areas currently experiencing water stress, and this is with our current world population. This is a Wikipedia entry. We currently have about 7.7 billion people on planet Earth, and UN data projections are showing different scenarios. And so from a low, medium, and high growth scenario on through year, let's say 2050, there will be more people on planet Earth with a very high degree of certainty. So let's see how that ties into actual water use. This is Delft University in the Netherlands. Here, average water use per person per day in liters. We have, for people experiencing high water stress or lack of access to water in Ghana, Mozambique, China, we have very little usage or access to water. Here in obviously European countries, Spain, Norway, and France, we're up to 300 liters per day. All the way over here on the right side in the United States, over 500 liters per day. I'm wondering if industrial uses are included in these numbers, and that's obviously something I need to look more into. But what we're seeing there is that under current conditions, we are under severe water stress in a growing population, but I'm going to add something to this, and that has to do with the development, human development. So this is a joint monitoring report between the World Health Organization and UNICEF. And there are organizations and people and governments around the world trying to increase access to water. And so over the last between the years 2000 and 2015, over 1 billion people gained access to pipe supplies between 2000 and 2015. And there are still many more that are looking to gain access. So if we return to this chart, we can expect that people who don't currently have access are working real hard to increase access. They are working themselves, their governments are working themselves, and the international agencies are working themselves. So we have a growing population and we're trying to increase access. So I would expect, we can reasonably expect that water stress will increase. So that summarizes the background. I want to make a few closing remarks. The first is that global water stress as a global problem provides a kind of backdrop for our work at Fount Systems Network, but it also provides a backdrop for the work that many organizations and institutions and companies are working on. This is a human project on a global scale, and we're looking at it globally, but water scarcity solutions, water stress solutions, and innovations will all take place locally. So if you live in Cape Town, South Africa, the water stress management solutions that they come up with in San Diego are not going to directly benefit you in Cape Town. Maybe there are innovations being made that can be transferred. Yes, in that scenario, someone in Cape Town might benefit, but ultimately the solutions are local. This video, to kind of wrap it up even further, I would call this as an input one of our value proposition. And the input to our value proposition, I mean, what we can learn from this is that investments must be made to reduce water stress and to anticipate future water needs for a growing population. This growing population constitutes a market for water in support of their human desires for growth and economic development. That summarizes our background today. Thank you for listening. Remember, everyone, keep exploring, keep growing. I'll see you next time. Thank you.